I would like first to welcome Mr. Matthew Baldwin, the Deputy Director General of ENER. Congratulate him for the position, and it's very nice to have you here. We have worked close together many years in the first energy and climate change strategy. So I wish you good luck. You have a very difficult task in front of you. And I have two questions. One more short-term, 2027, for the diversification of the fossil fuel imports. I suppose for the short term you have to rely mainly on diversification of the gas import and LNG. However, there are some infrastructures that are still missing in terms of LNG harbors and also some of the transport inside the continent. So what are the plans of the European Commission to make sure that these infrastructures are completed, because they are infrastructures that take some time to build and they are expensive. So what is the plan also in terms of budget? My second question is about the more medium term, the hydrogen, that we should start now, but is in certain way medium term. I fully agree that the word of the day is hydrogen, and on the build of what you have called the hydrogen partnerships and the hydrogen corridors. And again, we really need a plan to have an hydrogen society in Europe with the infrastructures, with the transport, with where it is produced, and we also do not see that plan being developed in terms of timeline, in terms of funding. So if you could give us some light on this. Thank you very much.
In my third week in the job, that I do not have all the answers at my fingertips today, and I just want to assure you that if I don't answer, it is out of ignorance rather than obfuscation on my part. I may obfuscate in the future, but today it is ignorance. I want to assure you of that. So I go quickly where I can, and I've taken very careful note of the questions, and I will try to come back to you bilaterally where I don't have the answers today. Mrs. Carvalho, thank you for your kind remarks. It's a pleasure to see you again. You made very correct points about the budgetary needs, and maybe I could just touch on those briefly because we know the sums will be substantial. You remind us of the deadline to be out of Russian gas, if possible, by 2027. That is the goal. That is an enormously ambitious goal. I don't think we should pretend that, and it takes time. As of now, we are providing around 300 billion euros to help Europe give up on Russian energy, 72 billion in grants, additional 225 in loans. We are looking also at some additional funding, around about 10 billion at the moment, for missing links for gas and LNG, with the specific intention that we do not leave member states literally or metaphorically in the cold. In addition, we're looking at up to 2 billion euros necessary for oil infrastructure in terms of stopping the shipment of Russian oil. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where whatever we put together will never be enough. We have to really use it wisely. We have to use it well. We are working very close with our colleagues in Recover, in the revamping of the recovery and resilience plans. And indeed, if I could pick up that point, then we're looking hard at the point made by Mr. Gaia, about the list of critical infrastructure, for hydrogen in particular. That is something we're looking at, and I would need to come back to you in a bit more detail, and apologies for not being able to answer those points. But I'm sure you heard from Executive Vice President Timmermans on the need to ensure the critical infrastructure and our determination to do that. In terms of hydrogen, your second point, Mrs. Carvalho, and a point made by a number of colleagues, you will have seen, again, very ambitious goals, but your points are well made about how will it be enough on hydrogen. And I think the point is we have a double-barreled strategy here. We are looking at 10 million tons of domestic production and 10 million tons of imports. And we're aware that we need major efforts. We need even to achieve that. We are looking in terms of exports at the development of, imports at the development of 3 major hydrogen import corridors via the Mediterranean, via the North Sea, and as soon as conditions allow, with Ukraine. Of course, the identification of these is the first step. The details of the concrete projects to be supported are not yet known. We are determined to ensure they meet all the requirements set out in the Indiki Global IPA 3 regulation plans and are aligned with the priorities identified by the EU in collaboration with our partners. And that is the point I would like to make in particular about the need to ensure, to Mr. Potenga, the need to ensure that we are working in line with our values.